Watch the fascinating story of a brave sultan, where he gets educated, learns military tactics as a young man, fighting wars after wars with several hardships, uniting several Islamic states, and finally conquering Jerusalem.
Around the 1099 Common Era, Jerusalem was under the occupation of the Crusaders. Numerous small Islamic states that emerged in Anatolia and Mesopotamia were engaging in constant conflicts. For many Muslims, reclaiming Jerusalem was a dream. It was Tikrit, Iraq, around 1137. A young boy spent his childhood memorizing the Quran, learning logic, philosophy, Islamic sciences, arts and crafts, and poetry. He grew up learning military tactics from his uncle, Asad al-Din Shirkuh, and was mentored by Sultan Nur ad-Din. This young man had the same dream as several Muslims, reclaiming Jerusalem from the Crusaders. This boy was none other than Salahuddin Ayyubi. The Sultan of the Zengid state, Nur ad-Din had unified all Turkish states under his rule and had established a partial Islamic alliance, successfully reclaiming numerous cities from the Crusaders. When the Fatimid state of Egypt faced a crisis, Sultan Nur ad-Din and the Crusaders of Jerusalem attempted to expand their influence in the Middle East, because whoever gained control of Egypt would hold an advantage over the opposition. When the king of the Fatimid state asked for assistance from Nur ad-Din, the Sultan dispatched his commanders, Shirkuh and Salahuddin, to get rid of the Crusaders from Egypt. After the Crusaders were defeated, Shirkuh was appointed as the vizier of Egypt, but he passed away shortly after assuming the position. So, Salahuddin Ayyubi was reappointed as the vizier of Egypt while still holding the title as the commander of Sultan Nur ad-Din's army in Egypt. When Salahuddin gained control of Egypt, he confronted the Fatimids, the Crusaders, and the Byzantines, who resisted him and the Turks and gained absolute authority over Egypt. Then reorganized the army and ended the rule of Batiniya Fatimids in 1171 by the order of Nur ad-Din. As Salahuddin progressed, he received the news that Sultan Nur ad-Din had passed away, and just like every other Islamic commander of the era, he had to preserve the unity of the state and safeguard the Islamic states established by the Sultan. With the blessings of Allah, and through several victorious battles and struggles, unity of Islamic states was further solidified. The next objective was the recapture of Jerusalem. Salahuddin Ayyubi used to ride his horse from place to place, calling upon Muslims to wage jihad for the liberation of Jerusalem with the words,
"How can I smile as long as the Crusaders control the city of Jerusalem and Masjid al-Aqsa? How can I eat and sleep peacefully at night?"
Salahuddin Ayyubi was resolute in his quest to retake Jerusalem, but careful coordination was necessary. He organized and disciplined numerous irregular forces, shifting the balance of power in his favor, where his primary focus was directed towards the Latin Crusader states. He began his progress step by step and conquered cities such as Haran, Urfa, Diyarbakir, Raqqa, Nusaybin, and Aleppo, which held strategic importance on the path to Jerusalem. Then, he laid siege to the city of Tiberias, wanting to lure the king of Jerusalem and his armies to Hittin. Hittin was a village near Tiberias in northern Palestine, well known for its water wells. In advance, Sultan Salahuddin seized control of the water wells leading to Hittin and deliberately filled them with rocks and sand. And when the king of Jerusalem and his army arrived at Hittin, they were surprised to find that the wells were out of water. This led the entire army to engage in battle, dehydrated and fatigued under the scorching heat. The Battle of Hattin commenced on the 4th of July, 1187. Salahuddin gained a great victory over the Crusader army led by the king of Jerusalem. The extensive losses suffered by the Crusaders activated the Muslims to control nearly the entire kingdom of Jerusalem. Numerous cities and fortresses including Tiberias, Nablus, Ascalon, Acre, Ramla, and Gaza were conquered within weeks, and finally, it was the time for Jerusalem. On September 20th, 1187, Salahuddin attacked Jerusalem, breaching the northeast walls, striking one after the other. The Crusaders were trying to stage a breakout operation. However, it was evident that they could no longer maintain control over the city. They requested safe passage from Salahuddin Ayyubi, offering a ransom for their lives, preservation of crops, undamaged houses, and the release of Muslim prisoners. Salahuddin accepted the terms and avoided further casualties. On the auspicious occasion of the Mi'raj miracle, 27th Rajab, 832, Jerusalem was reclaimed. It was a marvelous victory for Salahuddin Ayyubi. Under his leadership, many schools, hospitals, and masjids were built, and his governance served as a guiding light for numerous politicians who came after him. On the 4th of March 1193, his incredible life came to an end, and according to his will, his shroud was tied to a spear and brought before the people accompanied by these words.
O Muslims, O people, Sultan Salahuddin, the conqueror of Egypt, Palestine, Yemen, Syria, and Jerusalem, took nothing from this world except this shroud. Take this as a lesson and do not be deceived by the world.
This story shows us how a Muslim should have a heart beating for Allah rather than focusing on this world with all worldly goals.
If you found this video helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more amazing content, inshallah, and check my other videos that might be useful for you. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.